Hello, this is my second YouTube video on my channel. I'm so excited to share a little bit more about my art journey with you guys and how I got to where I am, how this collection has come to be, how I really shifted everything in my art to be what it is now. For the longest time, for years, most of my painting was done in acrylic. Actually, all of my painting was done in acrylic. I have forayed into oil and watercolor. I have a preference for acrylic, so I've always stuck with it. And then the other medium that I was working in primarily was pencil and charcoal, mostly charcoal. When I started my painting journey, painted things in realism. I always did realism with charcoal and pencil, and I did movie scenes and different things. I've had some small commissions, worked with family members for pieces for their place, and then I really got into acrylic painting. I've taken some art classes along the way, drawing 1, drawing 2, design, watercolor, all the different things, just to teach me about techniques and how to work with the paint and what was needed. And I have always been comfortable with acrylic, so I've always stuck with it. And that brought me into landscapes. I absolutely love hiking and being outdoors, and I've always been incredibly inspired by nature and everything around me. So painting landscapes and mountains felt very natural. It felt honestly safe, and I enjoyed it, and I did that for years, and I have sold a lot of landscape pieces over the years, and I have a lot hanging in my house, and I did love it. It was a lot of fun. For a while, I incorporated some abstract elements, which was also a lot of fun. I've created some pieces I'm incredibly proud of through that journey. I dropped off on my charcoal and pencil work along the way, but focused mostly on acrylics. And then a couple years ago, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I took a stab at digital illustration. So I didn't have an iPad to get Procreate, but I used Photoshop. And I really loved it. It was incredible, the color correction and everything that you can do digitally, like erasing stuff you've worked on or undoing things you've changed that you didn't like. And I loved that flexibility, and I felt a little bit like I could experiment more, without the concept of ruining a canvas or having to start over, or, oh my gosh, how am I going to cover up that color? So I enjoyed it for a long time. I did a lot of prints. I still have some kicking around here that will be available that I'll probably do some flash sales of on my website. It was great. But after a few years, I just got very bored of landscapes, and I needed something to shift. So in order to become more inspired by the work that I was doing and more engaged with it and feel a connection to my art again and be passionate and excited to paint, I decided to take a small break and then do some monthly challenges. And so that allowed me to try different mediums and different subjects and different approaches to my art and see what I liked the most and where I wanted to be and what I wanted to create. And so that started with things like a monthly challenge doing, a marker sketch every day, and then painting a fish every day, using mixed media to get the texture of scales and different colors. And then I tried doing collage for a little while, which I actually really loved. And then I did a challenge where I could pick a subject and I could do that same subject in a lot of different mediums or a lot of different ways, like paint it like stained glass or do pop art or, like graffiti the page and have the subject pop out of that. And it really helped me break out of this perfectionist mindset I was in with my art, where everything had to be perfect, every line had to be perfect, nothing could be out of place, the colors had to be bang on, they couldn't be off, things that were really stalling my creativity, that were putting too much red tape around what I was trying to make myself. So it really was an amazing, probably for 6 or 7 months I did that, and I will share in another video with you guys everything I produced, and I will likely put a lot of that out and make it available, put them into their own pieces, But yeah, it was incredible, and it really allowed me to relax a bit with my art. It allowed me to try new colors and new compositions and realize that art is just as beautiful even if it's not perfect. Even if it doesn't emulate everything we see in everyday life, it can be expressive and joyful and bright and energetic anyways. And it's really helped me be excited to create again. And that's really where this collection is coming from. So you'll see at the beginning, I was, painting one of my cats sitting in the middle with a dizzy tail. I'm calling them Dizzy Cats. A little series inside my bigger collection, which is going to be called the Safari Club. And it's been such a joy, and it's been so much fun to play with colors and to think more about color relationships on a page than I ever have, and how that one is working with that, and where my eye is going, and not trying to be too perfect with anything, but really focusing on things that are captivating and interesting, and the art that I used to stop at and always say, oh my gosh, I love that, I am creating for myself now. And yeah, I just am very excited about that. The piece you see me working on here now is really one that I didn't sketch out, that I just had in my head that I wanted to get onto canvas. And so it's going on this little, I believe, an 8x8 canvas, matching the size of the leopards just next to it, the purple leopards on the blue background. This one is going to be an elephant with a teal snake wrapping around his tusks. I love this design. I love how it's coming out. When this collection comes together, when I have all the pieces, I will announce a launch date for it, which I'm honestly so excited to share, and I'm hoping will be in the next coming months. It will also include originals and prints, and I'm looking to also include some of my charms as well, because just in the last couple months, maybe year, probably from the beginning of this year, I've started to work with some clay. So both with air dry clay and polymer clay. They both have their advantages and disadvantages. I'll do a video where I share more about which one I prefer and what I work with and kind of my process for that. I absolutely love it. There's something about creating something with your hands that I have always really loved, and has always made me feel like I'm like such a great creative outlet for me. I did digital illustration for a while. It didn't really have the same grab for me. I did love it. I loved the art process. I've kind of moved away from that now, although a few of my prints will be available, I'm sure, on my website in the coming months. But something about creating something with clay is even more therapeutic for me than painting. And I've absolutely loved making things with it. So you'll notice on my website, there are a bunch of charms available. They are all kind of tied into this new approach to things, and they've been inspired from my recent art challenges that I did to get my passion back, and that's why you'll see a lot of fruit in there. They keep popping up everywhere. I will also be adding some magnets. I had originally started with clay to create fruit and vegetable and food magnets for my fridge to create a grocery list. So whenever I ran out of items, I could list all of the little fruit magnets in a row, and I would know I needed to get those at the store. I loved this concept. I have a ton of them on my fridge right now. They are good. They're durable. They've lasted for a while. I've, dropped them and moved them, and they've been shipped around the house for a bit, and they've all held up quite well. So I will likely add a few more I will add some of those to the website, or I will create new ones now that this first batch is done. There's definitely a little bit of a learning curve when you're learning to make them, and none of these ones are resined. So this was before I started working with resin. Now I resin all of my pieces to increase their durability, their stability, so they last longer over time, and they just get that nice glossy finished look to them. But back to the painting. So this piece will be added into the collection. I believe it'll turn out what I'm envisioning in my head is already working on the canvas. So I'm hoping that everything else goes to plan. We'll be adding a background and then all of the final details. Once all these I will take you on the journey to do these pieces as I create them. I will share online which ones are coming up, which ones I'm working on, some of the techniques that I'm using, and some of the information on colors and how I'm picking my colors and how they work together, different things like that. I will be sure to make videos of and share if you wanted to follow along. If you would like to receive a small part of this collection, I will have a monthly mailer going out through Patreon, which is linked in my bio. You can sign up through there. That way you can get a small piece of each of the collection. I will not be making that available anywhere else. The monthly mailer is only $8 a month, and it will include 2 prints, a color palette, and a drawing prompt. I am really looking to create a community of art people. I know there's a lot of communities out there. I would really love for people to get engaged in my art and to be inspired by it, to know that if you are feeling stuck in your own art journey, that there are other people just like that. And I've been making art for, almost 2 decades already, and it just comes at certain times. You just need more inspiration or more push to try new things and realize that if you are stuck, there are ways to get out. And I would really hope that someone is inspired through my journey and feels that way and would like to follow along and be part of this community where we all kind of help each other with our creativity and our passion and our ideas. And you can come here to be inspired and to get some new ideas for yourself or try new things that you haven't tried before. So I'm really hoping that you'll check it out. It is the only place that I'm going to be taking small pieces of this bigger collection and sharing and making them available to people. So you'll have to get involved if you want a small piece of the collection. And in this next piece that you will see coming up, I am also working on, it is rabbits. So there are 4 main canvas pieces that I'm kind of centering all of these other pieces around, and these are them. They are the rabbits, the elephant, there are leopards, and then there's another one that's foxes. The leopard and the fox pieces were the first 2 I created in this collection, and they are really the shining stars. A lot of my other stuff is going to be themed around particularly the leopard, and then I will be including the foxes in there as well, and then likely other cats, so tigers and cheetahs and things like that. But the leopard was the first one I created with my sketches and my color palettes, and I absolutely loved him, and he's made his way onto a few of my clay pieces already, which I'm really excited to be sharing in the next couple weeks. And I am hoping to also kind of turn this whole theme into a monthly charm club as well. So stay tuned for information on that. I will be sharing that in the coming days. I do have a few more things I'm planning to do, and I'm only going to be releasing a small number of spots. My art print club that is on Patreon right now, called the Painting in the Studio, is unlimited. Anybody can join that. There are as many spots available as there are people that are interested in joining, but because of the time and energy it takes to create these charms, whereas I can create one piece in my painting mailer and then get prints of it, the charms just take up more time. And so it's going to start with just a limited amount of spots, probably about maybe 20 to 40 spots available at the first couple months. I'll see how manageable that load is on top of everything else. And then if I'm able to, I will open up additional spots for others who are interested in joining. But yeah, very excited to share all of this with you guys. Very excited to have you on this journey with me as I create these new pieces and complete this collection. After this one, there will be even more because I already have 2 to 3 more collection ideas. Looking to get a new collection out every 6 months, and then just continue to provide prints and more things from the past collections that have already been out. But make sure you stay tuned. Check out the links in my bio. Add yourself to that Patreon account if you want some pieces of each collection. Updates will be given as soon as a new collection is started and we get underway and start creating. Thank you so much for being here.
However, in order to get the unpalatable deal that I want, I will need to look Salazar in the eye. Oh, Mr. Horowitz, how lovely to hear from you.
Okay, sweetheart. 200.